This is Momxiety with Sav Social, and I'm your host Samantha. Let's get right into it before the baby wakes up. So, as you can see by popular demand, we
I'm
have
back, guys.
she's back and she's better.
Holding a mic this time.
My sister-in-law is here again. We're really excited about it. Are you ready to do this again?
I don't know why she asked me back, but I'm here. I'm ready.
She is back. All right. Well, let's start with the big news about Dallas.
Oh,
do you want to share?
Yes, he's so excited. He's going to be starting preschool.
That's awesome.
In September. We're very excited.
Yeah, he's going to do so well. Honestly, like every time we go in public with him, like the Splash Fed, whatever, for example, he makes friends in like 2 seconds.
Social butterfly, this kid. I know.
He really is. Like, good for him because I'm too shy for that, but
he's ready.
It's good.
And
it's good.
Like learning too.
Yeah.
Like he's bored in daycare. He's like his brain.
Right. No, he wants to move up to the next level. That's really good. And he's going to do great. We have no worries.
I know. I got his little acceptance letter and I was like,
oh, that's so fun.
Like acceptance for preschool. I know that sounds good, but
he got accepted.
Yes, he was accepted.
Oh my gosh.
It's real. It's a real thing.
That's awesome though. I think he's gonna do really good. So I'm excited.
Can't wait.
Today's episode I really wanted to talk a little bit about. I know last time we talked a lot about your pregnancy.
A lot.
Yes. Your labor.
How could I forget?
Yeah. But there's one thing that we really didn't go over. It's a little bit more of, I guess, a sensitive subject.
Okay.
And help. No, all seriousness though, I'm really glad that like you were comfortable enough to speak on this because I think it could really relate to young women that maybe are in the same situation or, whatever. So
what she's speaking about is PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. That sounds so scary. But it's really not. You have cysts on your ovaries. There can be various symptoms. It's not life-threatening. It's not a death sentence or anything like that. But getting pregnant can be challenging if you do have it. And that's something that I was told early on when I was diagnosed. My doctor, he was pretty, what's the word, like
blunt
frank about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're probably going to have trouble having kids when you're older because I was 15 at the time. And I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah. That's really scary too because you're only 15 and hearing such a big thing. That's so horrible, but like the point of us bringing this up really was not to scare anybody, but just to quickly talk about it and say that obviously she has 2 healthy children out of this, so always get second opinions, but also just let things happen on when it's time, and if it's meant to be, it'll be right. And not to feel like we always are like preaching on here, but really seriously, no, we don't want it to be a scary thing. So it's nice to hear from her that if you do have this, that
right, it can be scary hearing something like that, like trouble conceiving. That's like, especially anyone would be scared hearing that. But something that I learned over the years about this diagnosis is that there's ways to keep it under control and at bay. And shout out to my girl, Lindsay, if you watch this. She taught me a lot about PCOS and how your diet can affect it.
Oh, wow.
Different things to eat that can help with it, things to avoid like dairy and other things. So that could be something that really helps you on your PCOS journey that I didn't know 10 years ago, whatever. Yeah, no, and I appreciate it again. I know we're just like quickly talking on it, but I appreciate you allowing us to even talk about it. I just feel like it really can help somebody that maybe feels like
there's no light at the end of the tunnel with this, like, not sound drastic, but that it's a scary thing when you're a young girl and that's what, you're told.
Yeah.
You might not think that you could help it, or like you said,
and you're not given a lot of information. I mean, maybe if you go to a specialist, I don't know, but if you just go to your like regular like GYN, they just diagnose you. They're not gonna like give you a plan on how to keep things at bay or help you out. That's just my opinion, but
no, and I appreciate it again. And so we're gonna move on to our next topic. Yes, so this is all about being a full-time mom. A full-time, you have a full-time job.
I do.
Balancing both lives, really, with kids at the same time.
It's a balancing act for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure that could be really challenging, but you will find little things that work and just keep, moving with it, right? I mean, one of my questions for you are, like, what challenges do you have with balancing all of that and having 2 children?
Do you have like a few hours to set aside?
Some points I wrote out were sharing.
That's a big one.
I'm sure obviously when you have one kid, you're not even thinking about that, but like your parenting changes and you start thinking about what, these kind of things. Do you have any tips, or what, do you want to go over any challenges?
Tips on balancing work and parenting life, or
both?
Or tips on
giving tips on anything.
How to have both of the kids and keep them happy at the same time.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm asking first, let's start off with this, is what are challenges that you have with having 2 kids versus 1? Like, obviously, like I said, my first point was sharing.
Got it. Yeah, definitely sharing. That's a big one when you have 2, because they always want what the other one has and vice versa. So that's a constant struggle.
What about like when you're going out, like for family events? I guess there's a lot more things that you have to bring now, right? When you have 2 kids, it's a lot of memory games.
Yeah, well, this also goes back to sharing, because you always have to pack 2 of the same snack, because they're always going to want the same snack no matter what. 2 of the same drink.
2 toys, same
exact toy.
Oh my God.
If we go through a drive-through, God forbid the Happy Meal toy in each of their bags is different. That's another story.
Oh gosh, I never thought about that.
That's a big one.
Yeah. No, that's actually really funny. Because...
But it does help that I have a boy and a girl, so that you have different interests.
That's true.
I don't know how it is having 2 girls or 2 boys, but that makes it a little bit easier, and the age difference.
That's true.
2 and 4, so different interests and things like that.
They're a little bit less than 2 years apart. So so they're pretty close in age. Yes. Was that a challenge also, like having 2 kids under? Were they under 2? I guess. Yeah, 2 under.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of people would say yes, like 2 under 2.
That's a thing.
Would you say so? People are like, oh, 2 under 2. How do you do it? But in my experience, in my opinion, they're growing together. They're learning together. We can potty train pretty much together. Close, very, very close. Be in diapers together. I like the way that it is. I wouldn't want to start over in a sense. And have kids like 5+ years apart. And again, that's just
and that's okay.
Just me, totally okay. But
and
we're just learning and growing together, so it's like it's fun.
And I think too, it's pretty cool that they're so close in age, because they're gonna have a great friendship. You know what I mean?
And they'll be in school together, which I'm excited about, because me and your husband, my brother, we were in school together, and that was so fun. And like
it really
driving
does.
him
it's cool.
to school, and that was like one of the best memories. I thought it was so cool, like driving my little brother to high school.
He probably loved it.
I'm sure he thought he was so cool. Yeah, like I look forward to those moments for them.
Mm-hmm. No, that's exciting.
For sure.
Another challenge too that I was thinking about was, which you kind of went over, but teaching them, because obviously they're at two different stages. Like they do go through some things together, but is that a challenge where, or like even disciplining them, like they're two different stages, so, and ages, I mean.
Right.
Like, was that challenging? Like, for example, like one of them might be at a stage where they could put their clothes on by themselves. Another one, the other one might not be at that stage. So do you have to like change gears a little bit when it comes to teaching and also disciplining?
That's a good question. And to answer that, I will say, I don't want to say difficult, but it's different when you're disciplining a boy.
A baby, really, too.
Well, yes, a baby versus not a baby. You don't discipline a baby, but
no, not spanking. I mean, like, even just saying no. One saying is gonna understand,
things like that. But boy versus girl, I will say, is different, because at least for me, like with my daughter, I don't know, because she's a girl, I guess I just tend to be a little softer. I think I
would be the same way. So,
and with my son, he's rambunctious. He's typical boy, lots of energy. I have to be a little more stern, assertive with him.
And I think too, everybody's different. And I think whatever works for your kid. Like it might be a girl that's more on the hyper side, let's say, or energetic.
For sure.
And the boy is more calm, and you have to vice versa. You have to be stern with one and more softer with the other.
This is all specific to my kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like it's so interesting, because no matter how many times people tell you what they did with their kid,
right,
it's really, you just take it with a grain of salt, and you might use it a little bit.
You tweak it.
Yeah, you tweak it.
Whatever works best for
exactly
you and your family.
So going back to how you balance mom life and work life, I just wanted to ask you, how do you reground yourself? As moms, we have large to-do lists. We're overstimulated. And there's a lot of fun in there, but you're constantly worrying about something, which, I feel like is normal, even if you're not a worrier, or, that's not your personality. It's just naturally.
In a weird way, I kind of love it. Like, I love
right, like having things,
the responsibility. I don't know. Yeah.
And also
I love having something to worry about, and
to take care of. I think
to take
that's what it is.
Said. I don't want to say worry about, because that sounds like
a negative. Maybe.
I love worrying.
Oh god.
Yes,
no, I know what you mean.
I feel you're the same way. That maternal, motherly, like, you love to take care of everyone, and I feel like I'm the same way, and I would feel like out of sorts if I didn't have my kids or my dogs or something to take care of, right?
Yeah, and I gotta add to that, I feel like everybody wants to be wanted, and I feel like your kids are, they need you. Like, they literally need you to do things. So it feels good to have that relationship with them. And obviously, we have partners or whatever. Like, it's not the same though. Like, when your kid needs you to actually,
it's a whole different experience.
Exactly.
And it's very, I think this is what you're like, fulfilling,
rewarding, definitely rewarding. And it's funny because there'll be points in my day where I'm trying to, work on the computer and still give him my attention. So I really try to do it when he's sleeping. But some days I need to get things done, and he's not, taking maybe as long as naps as usual.
Yeah.
And I start getting overwhelmed. And then I actually pause, and this is something that I'm like practicing recently, and saying like, if I didn't have any of this, I would be lost. Like,
don't you feel like that?
Yeah, and like
I thought I was the only one.
No,
I
and
guess
like
not.
that sounds sad, but like I don't even mean it in a sad way. Like, it's just good to appreciate the craziness sometimes. Right. It's not always like
it's
a bad thing.
Controlled chaos.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So
if that makes sense. But to answer your question, I know we
got, oh my God, I'm like, I asked you a question, I forgot already.
We got engulfed in that motherly bond. But the balancing and kind of making time for yourself is also really important. I think that's what you were trying to touch on. And honestly, it's going to sound probably boring to most, but just like doing some chores or like anything by myself is fine. Doing the laundry by myself, doing the dishes
even
by
if it's 5 minutes. Sometimes you just need the 5 minutes.
Organizing my closet by myself. That brings me right back down to earth.
Yeah. That's really what I do. I'll either take a bath or I like to take a lot of walks, even with the baby.
Yeah.
You know, because he loves it too. So he usually takes a nap or like is just like, he's very at
nice
peace.
And relaxing. Yeah.
So I notice when the day gets a little bit crazy, I just go outside. And,
all you need is a little moment.
And you get fresh air, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And it just makes you regroup a little bit because sometimes, like I said, you get a little lost, you get all crazy, and then you're like, there's no reason to,
I definitely can get overstimulated. I'm all moms.
I'm sure everybody's relating to this. It's not like...
And not just moms, I mean...
This is anybody, really. Yeah. Like work and like whatever household chores and making dinner. If you're married, you want to, maybe keep the house together for that. Like there's a million, like there's so many
There's always something going on, something to do. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't matter mom or not. It's good to just regroup a little bit and,
have a moment of peace.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So that concludes our main topics. Now we're going to do some nap time tea.
Oh, I love a good nap time tea.
Yes. So
let's hear it.
The topics I have for today starts with a simple schedule versus a more filled, I was going to say hectic, but I don't want it to be a negative thing because it's not. I just mean like constantly having things planned for the kids.
Booked and busy.
Yeah, booked and busy. Or are you more laid back, see where it goes?
I definitely vary. Okay. I don't know about you, but
I think it's the time of year too, whatever season you're in.
Definitely. That has a lot to do with it. In the summer, obviously, I try to keep them outside, doing some fun activity every weekend, go to the boardwalk, amusement park, splash pad. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Pool. And then in the winter, you can't get outside and do things like that.
There's only so much you could do.
So it depends. I'd say I'm in even
like 50
in the middle.
Yeah
50-50.
Yeah, I feel like now he doesn't, not that he doesn't do much, but he doesn't walk yet, so really anything he's doing I have to be involved
different
with.
Stage.
So really like we do baby activities, I guess, but nothing too crazy yet. But I'm really not sure which direction. I think hopefully like you, I'll have a little bit of balance because like around Christmas time we're going to holiday parties and there's kids things. So,
when you have a big family like that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
It's busy.
Yeah.
Because we both have big families.
Yeah.
There's always something going on.
100%. 100%. Okay, so the next topic is ear piercings.
Oh,
so
I like this.
I mean, for me, when I was a baby, my mom got my ears pierced.
Same.
I never really thought anything bad. I guess I could see both sides where maybe you wanna.
Yeah, I guess it's all about preference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal, but I guess I don't know. I guess because I had it, I didn't think I wasn't like resentful to my mom that I got my ears pierced.
No,
like,
me
I
neither.
Never thought about it.
I know everyone has a different opinion on it. Some people like to wait until their kids can decide on their own if they want the ears pierced. Yeah. I got my daughter's when she was a few months old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
either way, whatever you prefer.
Exactly.
I think they're very cute for little girls, and it identifies them. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, I've had people ask me, "Oh, he's so cute. How old is he?" And I'm like, "She's 1."
I know. Thank that you. Happened with Jakey when he was little. Somebody said that they're like, boy or girl. I'm like,
yeah, because sometimes it's hard. It's hard to tell when they're so young, and the earrings is a cute little identifier.
No, it is cute. Okay, so the next topic is binkies. Not that I'm saying binky versus no binky, but like,
what's your preference?
What's your opinion on that?
I have a binky baby and a thumb sucker. Yeah. So I don't know which one's worse. Yeah. Or easier to wean. We'll see. Yeah. My son, he was the binky boy, and he was so good getting rid of it. So I don't know how it's gonna be with the thumb. Like, you can't get rid of your kid's thumbs.
That's what my mom always says. She's like, "What's worse?"
I don't know. She's still sucking her thumb, so I have no advice. I don't know.
And I feel like she only does that when she's tired, right?
Yeah, it's a comfort thing. Yeah, it's comforting. So is the binky when she's going to bed or when she's sad or.
So, funny story for you. When the baby was first born, we had to go get blood work or something like that for him. And in the beginning, I did not want him to have the binky. But I didn't really understand that it's a comfort. I thought I just was worried about his teeth, but like he's a baby. Right, then,
which everyone worries at first. Oh, it's going to ruin their teeth. Yeah. I mean,
whatever. But
they're baby teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to fall out.
I remember we were on our way there and he was crying unconsolably. I was doing everything, and at that time I was breastfeeding. Like, I did everything.
It's a lot. Yeah, you just want your baby to be comforted, and
and I gave in that trip. I was like,
oh yeah.
And ever since then, he's used the binky. But I just remember I was like upset with myself. But I'm like, now, as I know, like, it's only 9 months ago, but now I'm realizing it's just a comfort thing. It's not.
Moms, just give him the binky.
Yeah, give him the binky, okay? No, but like. Then you feel bad, catch some slack for traumatic for him. Like, I don't need him to be, whatever. But it was just like a weird, I don't know.
And you wean him off. It's not permanent.
Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of things back then that I didn't want him to do. And now I'm like, who cares? I think it was more just that I wanted, like, my husband felt the same, Jake felt the same way. Like, we just wanted it to come from us. You know what I mean? Like, we were.
The naive first-time parents that think it's gonna be rainbows and butterflies, and I'm never gonna use a binky, or I'm never gonna let him watch TV.
Exactly. Like, things happen, and it's like, now I'm like, okay, that was like silly for me to even worry about. Like, there's worse things.
Yeah, I mean, but you do what's just best.
Funny because we like laugh at like all the stuff we used to think.
Oh, and I think about things like that too.
Like, why? It's like we lost common sense. Right. I think it was.
Yeah.
And you get like defensive over the baby. You're like, no, he's not doing that, know? But anyway. Yeah, literally. Okay, so the last nap time tea topic is bringing your children to like a hair appointment, a nail appointment. Like, what's your view on that? I know.
Don't do it.
Yeah. No. Honestly, I like that. Like, I don't really get my nails done much anymore. But even like recently I got my hair cut, and
did you bring the baby with you?
I did not bring the baby with me. Of course, I missed him, but I was like, you know what?
Oh, of course.
I need that time to relax. And like, I feel like you feel guilty even saying that.
But this also goes back to taking time for yourself and having that moment to, just decompress.
Yeah. Sometimes you need it.
And this is only my opinion. You don't need the kid at your hair appointment or at the nail salon with you.
Yeah.
That's just a little mom downtime.
Yeah, and I don't and not even just mom, like I feel like we only identify as moms, like we're still a person, like it's okay, like we're allowed to.
That's my number one
identity. Like sorry.
Who am I?
No, you know what I mean? Like it's okay. I feel like sometimes we feel guilty for it, but I think it's fine. It's an hour an appointment, like unless you're getting hair extensions.
Yeah, I mean,
then I get it.
I think if you have a newborn or something like that, if the baby
there's not much movement,
right? If there's not much going on, I could see that. Mm-hmm. But when I see these little rugrats running around the salon and causing chaos, it might not be the best.
Yeah, I agree. Idea. I agree. I think that went really good. I mean, for having you on a second time.
Thanks for having me back again.
I guess you did good the first time.
We had some fun. I made the cut.
Yes. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you talking about,
Oh, for sure. If my crazy insight on any of these topics helps anyone, I'm happy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Hopefully, if you get a lot of views this time, yes, you'll be back. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you again, and thank you guys for listening to Momxiety, and we'll see you during the next nap time. See ya.